Hi everyone, my name is Andreas Steinross and I'm here to promote critical thinking. If we all properly learn how to think for ourselves, learn how to use to the very best of our abilities our logic, creativity, imagination, integrity, morals, dignity, and authenticity, well, these are all huge, gigantic tools for self-empowerment. And self-empowerment means being able to make our dreams come true. And I was taught a long time ago to dream big, to question everything, especially authority, and we are here on this planet to co-create our own reality, to make our own show. And we are here to become the very best humanitarians we possibly can. So all the stuff that I'm talking about in these videos have been in my thoughts for the past 25 years or so. I've been talking to as many people as possible who want to listen to what I have to say, and have been paying close attention to what others are saying about this. These videos are an accumulation of what people have told me as well as some of my own ideas. Some people have told me over the years that I am absolutely crazy for trying to change the system. Well, let's see. My goals are world peace, to stop all the fighting amongst ourselves, to end poverty, to end violence, to fully clean up and maintain that cleanliness of our environment and our planet, to promote people's ideas to that of cooperation and nurturing, and to make every last person on this planet wealthier beyond their wildest dreams. Yeah, I must be crazy. Some people over the years have told me that it sounds like I'm trying to start a revolution. Well, if you remove the letter R from the word revolution, you're left with the word evolution. And bottom line, folks, at the end of the day, this is exactly what this movement is all about. It is about all of us evolving together. Whether you believe in God or not, everything here is a miraculous gift. This planet is a gift. Everything we need to sustain our lives is a gift. Our souls are a gift. These earth suits to house our souls are a gift. Everything that we need to sustain our lives is all here, and we aren't being charged anything for it. So if it is all a wonderful, precious, miraculous gift, then what the hell are we doing paying for anything? Come on, everyone, we're way smarter than this. I would like to thank the First Nations people, for I have based some of my ideas for society from your old ways of life. The ideas of the League of Six Nations. How you folks live harmoniously with the earth and not to do anything to the environment without bearing in mind the effects of those causes for 7 generations thereafter. How you folks looked after the entire tribe, the entire community. How you allowed each tribe to be self-governed. How you folks worked together to ensure the well-being of the entire tribe, and how you folks lived without money. I would like to say something extremely important here. We must conduct this movement in a peaceful, non-violent, non-aggressive manner. Otherwise, we will only be perpetuating violence. You can't end violence with more violence. So everyone, I'm not here to fight the system. I'm here to create something better. Something where we all benefit from. As opposed to the current system where we do all the work and a fraction of 1% of the world's population has all the wealth and resources. Has total control of all the wealth and resources. How about we all start working for the whole so that we all benefit? So, here are some possible solutions for our new society. Suggestion number 1. let's eliminate money. In an ironic and comical sense, we could pretty much resolve all of our current world problems if we just got rid of money and the economy. If enough of us just say yes to change, then yes, we can make this happen. The entire infrastructure is already in place. We are the ones doing all the work. We are the ones who are manufacturing and producing all the goods that we need to live our lives. If money in the economy didn't exist, we could immediately eliminate planned obsolescence. And planned obsolescence means building cheap crap that breaks down in a hurry just to keep money and the consumer rolling right along. Suggestion number 2. To have small communities which are determined in size by themselves. We already have municipalities in place. The infrastructure is already there. This might be a very good starting point. I'm suggesting that we completely decentralize all governments and all powers. This would give power back to each and every community. This would give the power back to the people, and these communities could be self-governed. This will allow each member in the community to have a say in every critical and important decision which has an impact on the community. I don't know if voting is the route to go. Possibly we could have roundtable talks and intellectual debates with people representing all the different views within the community. These representatives could then bring back to each member of the specific view what was discussed at the roundtable talks for further review. If we do this enough, I suspect we could come up with some kind of mutual agreement where everybody is pleased. Suggestion number 3. To look after everyone in a community and not to leave one single person behind. This includes the poorest of the poor to the richest of the elites, and everybody else in between. And to you elitists out there, we don't want to take anything away from you. You can keep all your stuff. We want to make everyone wealthy. We even want to make you elitists wealthier beyond your wildest dreams. We just want to ask everyone, what is it that you want? What is it that's going to make you happy? We as a society are here to care. We're here to nurture. And if it's only stuff that you want that's going to make you happy, well, that should be pretty easy to resolve and accomplish. If money in the economy didn't exist, we could begin to manufacture only the highest quality of goods. This would have an enormous positive impact on the amount of garbage that is thrown in our landfills and the amount of natural resources used to manufacture these products. If money in the economy didn't exist, then we could immediately eliminate poverty. I believe the poverty would be the easiest of our problems to resolve. Do you know how easy it would be to fix poverty, everyone? Well, the candy store is open. Help yourself. It's that easy, folks. If money in the economy didn't exist, we could drastically reduce the amount of crime and violence here on this planet. If people were cared for and nurtured, they wouldn't need to commit all these horrendous crimes just to survive. If money in the economy didn't exist, then we could clean up and maintain that cleanliness of our environment. It would be so much easier Our oceans make up 75% of our planet and are a major factor in our ecosystem. I am an instrument mechanic by trade, with automation being my field of expertise. If money in the economy didn't exist, we could use technology to clean up this mess. We could easily use robotics, build machines to swim around in our oceans, gather up all the plastic and whatever other crap is floating around there. haul it back to land where we can deal with it. A few years back, we had a horrific oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Someone in their wisdom decided to dump chemical dispersants on the oil to sink it to the bottom onto the ocean floor. Well, in my humble opinion, this out of sight, out of mind method was a very inexpensive and completely irresponsible way to deal with this problem. The oil is still sitting on the ocean floor, and we don't know whatever other havoc this will create. We could easily build robotics to swim on the ocean floor to clean up this mess. Haul it back to land where we can deal with it. And what's up with this Paris Agreement on carbon tax? It sounds like the globalists want us taxpayers to clean up their mess. Why aren't the corporations held accountable for this? They're the ones who created this mess. They're the ones who are literally making billions of dollars of profits, yet they don't have enough money to clean up the mess that they're creating. They're the ones literally making all this money, and we're the ones who have to suffer the consequences for it. If money in the economy didn't exist, then this wouldn't even be an issue. If money in the economy didn't exist, well, we would just clean up this mess. Problem solved. It's just that easy, folks. If money in the economy didn't exist, we could really put our focus on clean, renewable, sustainable, alternate energy. If money in the economy didn't exist, our entire medical community would flourish, and health care and well-being would go through the roof. If money in the economy didn't exist, then imagine how many people that would free up for our workforce. Every last person that works in the money system could now have a job that actually contributes to society. Our workforce, contribute to our workforce that is going to create a society that we are so profoundly longing for. If money in the economy didn't exist, then imagine that would contribute to ending all wars. So you see, just stop and think about it for a minute. It's the money system that is actually preventing us from evolving. How about we all start working for the whole instead of working for the fraction of 1% of the world's population? This would put an end to slavery as we know it. Suggestion number 4. To have multiple levels of people checking up on people. This includes checkers checking up on the checkers. This is to ensure that no one is left out or behind, to ensure that no one is doing anything suspicious like building bombs in the basement, and to ensure that corruption does not creep back into our society. Suggestion number 5. To establish equality in the community and to eliminate all forms of hierarchy. This means that not one person is any more or any less special than another, and that all jobs contributing to our society are all of equal importance. We want to create jobs for everyone, and if everyone is contributing to society and participating, then why not have the candy store open and let everyone help themselves? Suggestion number 6. To have wellness centers and to help people in need of all levels of healing, with the main focus being on how to deal with our emotional and our nervous systems. To have everyone participate and contribute to society by teaching everyone to find it in themselves the desire to participate. To think of the universe and our souls as energy, vibration, and frequency. And to view our souls as the actual skeleton of our bodies. Our planet is engulfed with a cosmic energy field. Let's all learn how to meld this energy field within our souls. Our outer world is a direct reflection of our inner world, which makes our chakras the nervous system, our minds the computer system, our emotions the feedback loop, and our hearts as the driver. This will make the primary aspect of our lives. Suggestion number 7. To conduct business of production and manufacturing to accommodate everyone's needs and wants. And to do this in a manner of bearing in mind the impact and effects of 7 generations on our environment. While we're at it, let's use science and technology to our fullest capabilities to clean up this planet. Let's learn how to become responsible stewards of the land. Suggestion number 8. To have the law serve the people, not the bankers and the corporations. Suggestion number 9. Today, right here, right now, would be an excellent time to give an extra special thanks to our police department. Yes, there are good cops and there are bad cops, but I still support the good cops. To our fire department, especially the volunteer fire department. I've been living in rural British Columbia for the past 25 years, and we only have the volunteer fire department in my neighborhood. Last summer, we had 3 months of 30 to 35 degree Celsius weather and no rain whatsoever. I live in a forest, and approximately a quarter mile from my house, there was a huge house fire. The volunteer fire department dealt with this incredibly well. They had the helicopters out water bombing it, and within a few hours they had the fire completely under control. Thank you very, very much for protecting my neighborhood. An extra special thanks to the search and rescue people for putting yourselves in such dangerous positions to help people. And an extra special thanks to all the nurses and all the caregivers out there. Thank you for being such a great aid in helping people to heal themselves from their illnesses. Suggestion number 10. To promote a healthy, sustainable, and harmonious living environment on a global scale, with the big, long-term overall picture being the main focus. To take a planetary census of who we got, what skills do we possess, what resources do we have, what resources do we need, what manufactured goods do we require, and to distribute this wealth on an equal and unbiased fashion throughout the entire planet. Automation is becoming more and more advanced on a daily basis. If we utilize this technology to our maximum advantage and evenly distribute the workload, then we should find ourselves having an incredible amount of free leisure time. Once we've sorted out and cleaned up this planetary mess we've created, well, it's playtime. So I'm absolutely convinced that our thoughts are everything. So please be very aware of what you wish for. By bringing in more awareness, more consciousness, and more unconditional love into our lives, we can then begin to raise our own vibrational rate. This in turn will help raise the vibrational rate of our entire planet. We are all unique individuals, and by finding our own unique individual internal powers, we can learn how to cooperate, coexist, and co-create for the benefit of the whole. If we follow our heart songs, factor in creativity and passion to the equation, then miraculous things begin to happen all on their own. And we begin to really feel the life force that is within us all. So I'm highly recommending that we take full responsibility in applying the real world as well as the non-physical reality into our lives. To take full responsibility in the way our lives are played out, and to take full responsibility for our consciousness, our actions, and our consequences from this point forth. Quoting Carl Jung, quote, "We must make the unconscious conscious and to change accordingly, otherwise we will call it fate," end quote. So you see, folks, the people in charge of this planet are completely brainwashing us and controlling us with playing with our emotions. They are using fear, anger, hatred, and doubt to manipulate us. This is one of their main tools on how they divide and conquer us. So how about we start to live our lives completely opposite by living in a state of no fear, no anger, no hatred, and no doubt. It's time right here, right now, that we put an end to all the suffering. How about we start to focus more on love, compassion, empathy, kindness, gratitude, and appreciation? Why aren't we living in a state of perfection? We aren't even close to perfection. Why are the majority of people learning their life lessons through suffering? Who came up with this idea anyways? This is unnecessary. Who says that we can't have a happy and healthy planet? Who says we can't have a total happy and healthy society? Life can be what we make of it. Life can be cherry sweet. I am highly recommending that we live our lives like there's no tomorrow, because one day that will come and nobody really knows when that day is. It's the money system that determines how everything in this world operates. It limits everything. If the money system didn't exist, then we would have no limits. The money system is holding us back in every aspect of our lives. The money system is literally preventing us from evolving as the human beings that we could be. The money system is the root cause for all corruption. This is how I'm teaching as many people as possible to think for themselves. Word of mouth is free advertising, and if there's anything in any of these videos you would like to say, please feel free to pass it along. Let's get these debates and intellectual conversations going. We all have this basic universal constitutional right, and that is free speech. Don't ever let anybody stop you from speaking your mind. And please be very mindful and conscious of what you say. You can't accuse anybody of anything without any solid concrete evidence. That might end up getting you in trouble. I would like to end this video with a little history lesson. A friendly little reminder, folks. Here is a quote from the Radio Free Europe Radio Liberty website. Quote, "The strike that changed the world began around dawn of August 14th, 1980. Some 17,000 workers seized control of the Lenin shipyard in Gdansk to protest, amongst other things, a recent rise in food prices. Their leader, Lech Walesa, had narrowly avoided arrest by secret police that morning and had managed to scale the shipyard gate and join the workers inside. Soon workers in 20 other area factories joined the strike in solidarity. 17 days later, after negotiation with Poland's communist government, the burly mustached Walesa appeared before the workers with a historical message. We have an independent, self-governing trade union. We have the right to strike. In September 1980, the independent, self-governing trade union Solidarity was officially formed. Over the next 15 months, the union's membership grew from 1 million to 9 million people, which is 1/4 of Poland's entire population. On December 13th, 1981, General Jaruzelski, the Polish Prime Minister, declared martial law and outlawed Solidarity. The military, in a plan hatched over the previous months, arrested most of Solidarity's, including Lech Walesa. Walesa would spend nearly a year in jail, and for the next 7 years he would under constant watch and harassment by secret police. In the long dark period leading up to the radical changes of 1989, Solidarity worked in the underground, but as Sikorski recalls, it never wavered from one of its key components, non-violence. It was a peaceful movement which actually realized all its objectives and more. So I think the path of non-violence is certainly an important Solidarity legacy. Faced with intense social and economic pressure, Jaruzelski finally agreed to talks with Solidarity in early 1989. 2 months later, after historic roundtable talks, the two sides signed a 400-page agreement on sweeping political and economic reforms that officially recognized Solidarity. In June 1989, in the first free elections ever in the communist bloc, Solidarity won the maximum number of seats allowed in both houses of parliament with the two smaller parties. It formed the first non-communist government in a Soviet bloc. End quote. Thank you very, very much, Lech Walesa and your Solidarity crew, for showing us how it's done and for showing us your extraordinary amounts of bravery. You rock, my brothers and sisters. These people all said that this is not acceptable. They all stood together and said, we ain't doing this anymore. And they liberated themselves from the communist regime. So you see, everyone, if Lech Walesa and his Solidarity crew can do it, well, so can we. And the only thing that's holding us back from making this happen is us. Here's a quote from Wikipedia. Hungary effectively disabled its physical borders with Austria on August 1989. And in September, more than 13,000 East Germans escaped through Hungary to Austria. This set up a chain of events. The Hungarians prevented many more East Germans from crossing the border and returned them to Budapest. These East Germans flooded the West German embassy and refused to return back to East Germany. The East German government responded by disallowing any further travel to Hungary, but allowed people to leave, provided they did so by train through East Germany. This was followed by mass demonstrations within East Germany itself. Protest demonstrations spread throughout East Germany in September 1989, and initially protesters were mostly people wanting to leave to the west, chanting, "We want out." Then protesters began to chant, "We're staying here." This was the start of what the East Germans called the Peaceful Revolution of late 1989. The protest demonstration grew considerably, and by early November, the movement neared its height. On November 4th, when 500,000 people gathered to demand political change at the Alexanderplatz demonstration, East Berlin's large public square and transportation hub. The fall of the Berlin Wall began in the evening of November 9th, 1989, and continued over the following days and weeks, with people nicknamed Mauerspechte, wall woodpeckers. On June 13th, 1990, the East German military officially began dismantling the wall. End quote. So to all you people of former East Germany, thank you very, very much for showing us how it's done, and for showing us your extraordinary amounts of bravery. You rock, my brothers and sisters. These people all got together and said, we ain't doing this no more. They liberated themselves from the communist regime. So you see, folks, if the East German people can do this, well, so can we. And the only thing that's holding us back from making this happen is us. Everything here on this planet is a miraculous gift. Consciousness, the ability to make our own choices, this life and our bodies, our souls, creativity, logic, and imagination are all miraculous gifts. How can you not be in awe of this place? So how about we all pay a little bit more attention, for that's the only thing we can truly afford, to pay a little bit more attention to gratitude and appreciation to whoever or however this planet and life on this planet comes from. You never know, folks. That might help you a little bit with your self-empowerment. And here is one last quote from Gandhi. Be the change that you want to be. All right. Thanks for listening, my brothers and sisters. Ciao for now. Peace be with us all. V for victory. In solidarity. United we stand, and together we rise. Thanks for listening, everyone.